If you've been feeling stuck, it's not stagnation, it's an ending. It's time to trust the transition. And sometimes it's a little challenging because stuck energies are not moving at all, right? There's this feeling of moving back, forward, like, back, forward, yeah, back, forward. Look, but it's almost like you're rooted in fear. When you feel stuck, there's a sense of fear, there's a sense of lack, there's a sense of guilt and worry and doubt and yada yada. Yeah, there's all those things. It's like it's easier to when you're stuck, it's easier to blame sometimes on someone else or on the government, on the school, on something else external, or your partner or your friends or your family. It's always like someone else's fault for you being stuck. Not always, right? Because it's also it's basically you. The reason that you're stuck is because you are trying too hard to get unstuck. Hello, my beautiful warriors. I didn't even greet you. Welcome to this reading. It's like a mini talk. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this feeling of being stuck. And I've also pulled cards, and I'm going to deal out the cards. Deal them out. And these readings will show up as mini talks sometimes without cards. But I pulled them, so I'm going to use them. Before we even get to the overall energy, but I can even just look at the overall energy, it's death, which is an ending, which is transformation, which is rebirth, which is birthing anew, which is coming out of the cocoon, which was the stuck energy, right? Wow, yes. The death card speaks of that feeling of inertia, almost like you're, let's just, for example, so many of us decide things. We make choices in our life. We make a choice to be in this relationship. We make a choice to start this project, start this business, go work over here. We choose to have this friend in our life. We choose, whatever it is, to start exercising, to eat, whatever the choices you've made. And then at one point in those choices, you decide that I don't really want that anymore. This is huge, by the way, because it's at that moment that the universe would say, okay, chuck it, or end it. Like, don't attach to it. Stop holding on to it, because it's something that it's like, you made this choice. I chose to go into law school, and I put a lot of money, and I went to doctor, I went to all this, whatever it is, in school or in work or whatever. And then at one point you're like, I don't want to anymore, and you're feeling this stagnation, right? You're feeling, and what do? We stay. Well, because my parents paid this, or because, well, I made this decision, so I'm gonna follow through with it. Until like 20 years later, when you realize, oh, okay, it's time to go, right? And it's that stuck energy. To me, again, a lot of you know, I love the Tower card. I've fallen in love with the Devil card. I've fallen in love with all these cards that are a little uncomfortable in the tarot, because it's at that energy, which is stuck as well. It's like, what's wrong with being stuck right now? Maybe the universe wants you stuck. It wants you to be feeling empty. It wants you to feel the void. It wants you to feel nothing. It wants you to face the unknown. It doesn't want you to be thinking about the next step, thinking and thinking. That's where you get stuck. You start thinking, overthinking. Like, how am I supposed to get out of this rut? Why did I choose that? Why did I do this? Where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? And then you've, like, this whole conversation, you've created a whole storyline for you. In the new movie, you've added a whole scene. Maybe you've even added a whole act, 1, 2, and 3, into this play, into this theater, into this movie of yours. And all what getting stuck means to me is, like, I was stuck. 6 months ago when I stopped doing my tarot readings. I was stuck. I was like fighting against a system, which was weekly readings, schedules. There was no spontaneity for me. There was no, it was like a obligation. If there's anything I can't stand in this world, it's obligation. So I was like, I formulated this for myself though. I created this, and then I got stuck. And I tried really hard to please the followers, please the clients, please everybody, but I was forgetting about me. Right? So that's what we do. We get into these situations in our lives and we forget about ourselves. We just think of, well, I decided to buy this house and pour all my hundreds of thousands of dollars into this deposit to buy this house. And there's that moment of clarity that comes in and says, no, that's not where you need to be. Pull out your money and, whatever, like I'm just giving you examples out of the blue because there's so many examples that I can take. It's those crucial moments of clarity within the mud when you're stuck in the mud, like there's, maybe I shouldn't try and just trust that the mud will like melt away or whatever, right? But this is that's the metaphor, but I'm just saying this is it's like again, all these cards I created all these cards for a reason, because they're all they all resonated with me. So stuck, we've all been stuck in our lives. We've all felt stuck in our lives. And a lot of the times, like I said at the beginning, is that we blame others. I am here because of you. Absolutely not, right? You made a choice. You chose to follow this person down this path, right? You chose to help this person. You chose to get screwed by this person. You chose it. We all have free will. We all have divine will. We choose. People who don't have choices, perhaps, are children, right? But when you get to an adult age, you have choices. We can choose to get out of the stuckness. But also, like I said, stuckness sometimes is the blessing, because you need to step back and you need to empty the mind, and you need to stop the overthinking and stop everything and just stop it, so that you can recalibrate and realign yourself. And I can only speak from experience that I did that, and for 6 months I did that. I had to stop, and it was challenging the whole time. Why? Because the human mind will come in and say, well, how are you going to make money now? What do you think you're doing? Are you dumb? You're such a loser. And it goes on and on and on. And then what does the human do? Says, okay, I'll just go back and do it. Right? There's those moments of clarity that come in for you in your relationships, in your job, in your thing. And then you're like, oh, that's just me in my dreamland. Or that's just me in my fantasy land. Oh, that's not even real. And here's the cocoon, the butterfly in the cocoon who comes out, right? Even though it's really uncomfortable. Because being stuck is discomfort to the maximum level. Nobody, we live in society where you're supposed to be moving and shaking all the time. Right? If you are sitting at home, or if you are sitting in a cafe doing F all, then you're lazy. Because look at me. I'm working really hard. I have 7 jobs, and my goal is to have a beautiful home and a car and blah, 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 all blah, blah. And it's fine and great. Good for you. Right? Everybody makes their choices. But spiritually, a lot of us who are here, and maybe you're not here spiritually, and it's fine. I don't judge you either, right? So if you're spiritually on this level, you know that the stuck is the gift that has been given by the universe or God or yourself. Because it's that moment you need to come back down. It's that quiet, I said this in an Aquarius reading recently, like a quiet rebellion, a quiet courage, the like a gentle bravery to be stuck in the unknown, to not know what's coming tomorrow, what's happening on the side of you and the top of you and the bottom. You don't know anything, but you're trusting the next steps. You're trusting that the cocoon will open itself up, because now you have like cleared your mental plane. You're open. Your heart is open now. Like, like this is the work that we do in the stuck zone. And there's this human feelings, these human blockages, this human way of seeing that stuck energy and saying, you're just a loser, you're a failure, you're like, what are you doing? Like, it's all the narrative, it's all the script that was programmed in our brains from the beginning of time, right? And we've created these programs because we we repeat the program. Like a software, if we continuously write the same command, it's going to continue. Okay. She wants to continue the same load of crap, so let's do it again. Because your body trusts you. Your cells trust you. Your soul trusts you. You're the avatar playing in this human experiment. So they're like, okay, that's what she wants. I mean, we're not aligned with it, but we're not gonna do it for you, because at this moment in time, this is what you think it is. So let's do it. And like moving, I feel like that's maybe one of the pivotal moments of this little talk is like, how can you recognize that stuck moment is actually trying to clear the path for something new, right? I feel like, how can you shut down the mind from convincing you otherwise? To me, it's the same story, like in all the words that we end up looking at, because it's like just trusting that the path is here already. Like everything is already here. And the reason you're stuck is because you're going against your truth. You're going against your authenticity. You're going against your soul purpose, your alignment. And to me, that's that's beautiful, right? So it's like, that's like when you start to see that, you're like, oh, okay. So I'm getting triggered, by this stuckness. I'm getting triggered in this job. I'm getting triggered in school. I'm getting triggered by my family, my friends, home, I'm getting triggered. You're getting triggered by something, and you're, instead of like becoming aware of it and owning it and realizing that this is like, instead of listening, that's the key here, is listening to what? And so I listened to nothing. I got no guidance when I was shut down for 6 months. Nothing. It was like, nope. Oh, okay. Like, it was like basically do nothing. Do nothing, which is really challenging for someone who is always doing something. Right? And that was my guidance. But some of you might get a guidance like turn left, or pick, or look at this neighborhood, These are not, like, a lot of people tell me all the time, they're like, well, is it your intuition or is it AI giving you that, like, advice, Because I said, obviously, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and you have something coming up, that's your AI reading you, right? But I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about on social media. I'm talking about, like, intuitively. You get these hits that come to you. People, you get up, I just dreamt about this beautiful place in Mexico. Okay, book a ticket and go to Mexico, people. But people are like afraid. They won't. And I like, so I say choose freedom over fear, people. Like choose spontaneity, choose like clarity over that. So, you know, and it's like, well, I can't really afford it. I was like, okay, fine. So, you know, like there's always ways around it, but still keeping your eyes open and being open to that. So let's say I keep seeing Mexico all the time. Sabrina, Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. So, and you can't afford it, right? But, you know, eventually you will be able to afford it because money will become available to you once you release yourself from this stuckness, right? But what I say, because sometimes I am in those situations too, I always say, okay, so I'm open to receive whatever the message is. Whatever Mexico means to me, I'm open to receive. You can send me someone my way that will help me with this Mexico. Boom, I'll leave it go. So there's like a lot of ways to look at things like this. So let's just go. I'm gonna take Stuck and put her here. And I'm gonna go through the cards. And of course I'm gonna continue talking. Wow, your first card is just discontent and boredom, the Four of Cups, which is kind of a stuck energy. If you think about it, this is energy like a lot of times it's this hangover energy. You just went out celebrating on the Three of Cups and now you're hungover and you're like, you can't move, there's no like energy. That's the four. But it's also boredom, which is beautiful kind of, because I was bored as frick. 6 months doing nothing in my stuck zone. So boredom here to any human, it's like, oh, I don't want to be bored. I don't want to be discontent. That's like a negative thing. Again, I'm going to flip the script here, because who says that? Because it's like an ingrained program that says that. But maybe in the boredom, you find the clarity. And maybe in that discontentment is when you start to see yourself and you start to recognize things in yourself. Because if you're always living a Pleasantville life where you're always happy and you're free and you're like happy-go-lucky and everything, like you're not seeing anything. You're living in a la-la land. You're not actually clearing anything. You're bypassing the cocoon. You're just floating away, which is fine, and that's fun to have sometimes. And I was like that for years. But then eventually it was like cocoon time. Right? Let me put you in the larva and make you squirm a lot. And I'm like, okay. You know? And so that's the Four Cups coming up. And I could look at it in a different way. You know, I could say that, you know, some of you are bored in a relationship, unhappy, and yet you're feeling stuck in a relationship, in your job, in your school, in your in whatever vocation that you have like taken upon yourself, you know, in your country, in your city, in your whatever it is. There's a part of you that feels stuck and bored. I don't have friends. I don't have a social life anymore, Sabrina. I don't like do things. I'm not happy. I'm lonely. I feel like this. Okay. Let's start from there. So what do you feel like you need to do? Like, no, this is interesting. So I almost want to not give you like anything proactive at this point in time. I almost feel like the stuck energy is exactly where this reading is taking us, is to actually get not comfortable in the boredom and the loneliness, but be acceptant of it. You know, be okay with it and say, okay, it's not that bad. It's fine. But in this boredom, you know, let me do this, you know, or whatever. Let me clean my crystals, or let me clean whatever it is that you want to do in your boredom, in your loneliness, in your this, right? Because you're just moving through an energy. Like boredom is an energy that's moving through you, and it almost like the thing is, like I stopped myself from giving you like a practical advice of, oh, instead of doing that, then go shopping, you know. But no, I'm taking it back, and I didn't say it yet, anyways. But like accepting the boredom, accepting the unknown, accepting the misunderstanding, accepting the loneliness, seeing it for what it is. It's like, okay, and loving it and saying, okay, you know what? Sometimes I do appreciate my alone time, and sometimes I think a lot of people feel guilty doing nothing because they will equate it to laziness, and they will equate it to underachieving, and they will equate it to losing and failing, and they, you know, it's like it's the program again telling you that. But think about the grand scheme of things, right? You're here having the human experience, and you're so much more than this. So you as the avatar maybe wants to experience boredom and is showing up, but you're bypassing it. You're like, absolutely not, because I am not that. I'm going to fill my day with all tasks. I'm going to fill my day with things that I'm not going to feel, and I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to have time to love myself or feel compassionate toward myself in this boredom and this discontent. No, I'm just going to bypass it. I'm going to bury it. And I'm going to replace it with like drinks with my friends and whatever, you know. It's like it's the same story. You've heard it a million times. And we've done it. We've done this a million times. I've done this. I'm bored. Okay, girls, I'm bored. Let's go like drink. Let's go to the movies. Let's go this. Let's do this. Let's go online. Let's go shopping. Let's go whatever it is. You know, when I was bored, which I was like, I'm gonna do art. No. You know, it was challenging. I didn't have to listen either, right? But I did. I chose to listen. I chose to listen, and it was the best thing ever for me, because in choosing to listen to that, I actually sat in the boredom. And in the boredom, I also went out and had a coffee in my boredom, right? I did something, and I sat with it alone, and I just like sat with it. It was like, it's just this like finding that that alignment, you know, with, and it's just, they're just words. Anyways, boredom and discontent, and like, who says I'm discontent? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, who says I'm happy and who says I'm not happy? They're just words that are weightless. So, anyways, you're like, where are you getting at? Like, let's get somewhere here. Let's see. Oh, the Five of Pentacles. Financial and material changes. This is the lack mentality. So, I mean, if we just look at this is Cancer, this is Taurus, this is emotional wounds, you know, past life or current life traumas, childhood, you know, all this is coming up here. It says boredom, but the Four of Cups is that. And the Five of Pentacles is money, is lack of money, feeling like a failure. I'm stuck. I can't get through this. You know, no one's helping me. The banks are like, they're against me. You know, the taxes are against me. This is all like, it's all like whatever, right? We get into those places of feeling of lack when money is already here. When that, like, these are things like I'm going to express to you again, and we've heard this before from Sabrina, but. And I do this too. I fall into these holes, these traps as well. It's like, all I hear is trust. Stop worrying. The moment you worry, the moment you ask us again for the 150th time where the money is or whatever, is the moment that we push you back 100 steps. Or we send you another lesson. You know, and it's like, all you need to do is trust. Like, what's your problems, people? I'm like, okay, it's easier said than done, right? Because physically, we see the lack. Physically, we see the loneliness. We feel the loneliness. Physically, we feel all of these things. And then the higher realms, they're not seeing that. I mean, they see it, obviously. I think so. They're seeing it. But, or the versions of ourselves. But we're just concretizing them in our movie. We're making them real when they're not. So that's the woo-woo side. But the the literal side of this, if you're feeling stuck, again, there's like you're having financial difficulties, you're unable to pay your rent, you're unable to pay your tuition, you're unable, like you're unable to live the life that you've dreamed of, let's say. Like you're feeling, you always like hit a wall when it comes to finances, when it comes to that. And there's these two cards are like depression. You know, some of you fall into deep depressions when you get stuck. It's a common consequence, right? When you get stuck, right away your mind spirals and tells you that you're good for nothing. That you might stop trying because you've tried so many years now and you haven't, like, it's the same mind game that keeps coming back up over and over and over again. Instead of in this moment saying, okay, fucking stuck again. I'm gonna trust. I just need to trust that, like, I'm open and ready to receive whatever is like meant for me at this moment in time. And I realize that, and I know that you're going to take care of me and you're going to provide for me. And then I'm like fighting with myself here to talk to you in a literal sense. Because I could say here, oh, you could go and find like a loan from someone or ask some financial help or from these cards, or you can find help with like a counselor or a therapist, so you can talk through your issues. You can do these things. If you can't commit to trusting yourself 100,000%, those are avenues that you can do. But I always wonder, I think about it with myself as well. Like, why does this keep coming up all the time? Why do I get unstuck and then get stuck again? It's because it's a thought pattern. It's a pattern that I keep repeating. And if I'm not aware of this pattern, like, someone else can find it out for me, I guess. I have to go pay them hundreds of dollars to figure it out, or I could just sit with it. But I mean, there's good in talking it out with other people, because sometimes we are too one-sided when it comes to ourselves. Right? We're too engulfed in our own emotions, so you can't. So there's that. So you can reach out to a tarot therapist like me or someone else to help you through this, to guide you through this, because ultimately these two is what keeps you here, keeps you stuck, because it's your belief systems are holding you back, right? Because you don't want to deal with pain, but instead of sitting in the pain and owning it and talking to your body and your cells and helping heal the pain, whether it's mental, emotional, yada yada yada, right? And also you can do whatever you want to heal that pain, right? I'm not here to be like giving you guidance like that, but I'm like, to me, like this, the stuck energies, a lot of people will see this as punishment, and rightfully so in this human world. But that's where like the awareness comes in. It's like, instead of looking at it as punishment, look at it as energy trying to flow. But it's getting stuck because you're not trusting. And it will continue getting stuck and stuck and stuck. And the stuck energy is there. It's that like you can't breathe. You almost feel like you're having a panic attack. You're tense, your shoulders are tense, your back starts to hurt. When it comes to money, it's usually your shoulders or your lower back. Which one of those? I think it's your lower back that hurts a lot when you're like stressed about money. But it's like all these things, and it's like I almost feel like sometimes humans stay stuck without the awareness of the energy. Like I said before, staying stuck is a good thing, but not if you're stuck in the poverty loop, right? Not if you're stuck in the depression loop. Not if you're stuck in a relationship that's not going anywhere. Those are like awareness moments for you. Those are like, okay, those are uncomfortable, 100%, but are they beneficial to me? No. Right? Like when I was stuck, it was like it wasn't because of money, it wasn't because of this, it was because I wasn't understanding why I was stuck. So I had to sit in it to understand it. So there's a little different, like obviously this reading is spread out a little bit because there's different ways to look at things. But let's look at the third card so I can get the Chariot, Triumph. This is when you get unstuck. Okay, this is like you have to go through this, but also these are like messages, right? When you like, it's like if I'm stuck. I'm stuck again. Like a lot of people are actually feeling this energy these days. It's like I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. I feel like I don't know where to go. Like I feel like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And it's fine, right? Like in that moment, it's like, can you just, you know the word, fill in the blank. Can you trust that that's where you need to be at this moment in time? Can you trust that? You lost your job because there's a freaking opportunity coming your way. Can you trust that you're feeling you're feeling down and out right now because maybe you're transmuting other people's energies? You know, can you trust? Because we just look at things in our little box, in our corner. I'm feeling like shit, so but my job is okay and my relationship is okay and everything's okay. So you find something, right? Instead of looking like expansively about it. That's why it's like saying, okay, well, I must be transmuting someone's shitty energy right now, or maybe this is a stuck energy that's coming up, right? Stuck energies, people. How many stuck energies do we have in our system right now that have been carried over lifetime over lifetime over lifetime, and you have no idea what it is? I have no idea what it is either. I could be clearing shit that I did, like murdered the thousands of people like 100 million years ago. I don't know. And I could be sitting there crying, and I'm just trusting it. That's what I mean by trusting that stuck energy. Like it will be released. It's not. I'm never saying that to stay with the stuck energy. I'm saying to acknowledge it, right? And to be aware of it, and to realize at the moment, say, okay, I feel stuck right now. That means the energy is having a hard time flowing in my body, and it's looking for a clearing. It's looking for a path, and I'm not giving it its time of day, right? I'm compounding it with my thoughts, with my emotion. I'm creating scenarios, which what this scenarios do is creates more information to get stuck in the body, right? That's why it's like, I will say, to find something that helps you clear. For me, it's music. Music is my life. Music is my healer. I put my frequency music on, I put my Stray Kids on, I put whatever music it is on, and I listen and I lose myself in that, and I'm like, oh, and it's fine, right? So some people, it's drinking a cup of tea and snuggling under the blanket and just being. Some of you are going into the ocean. Some of you is going on the grass. Touch the grass. Some of you are doing whatever it is. I would say still do that, but not running away from that stuck feeling, acknowledging it, and also talking to your body, which is something I do often now. I'm like, okay, I feel stuck. So body, I've upgraded from cells. I talk to my cells too, but I talk to my body now. I'm like, okay, I feel like a stuck energy. I'm ready for, I'm gonna stay still for you, and you can do whatever it is you need to do. I'm ready for it. Or, let me know. Give me a message. Give me a message in my dreams. Give me a message. All you need to say, gives me a message, by the way, and you're gonna get a message right away. I just got asked for a message, and I just got a pulsing in my thumb. It's as easy as that. And I trust that. That's the thing. Is the trust is like a whole 25-part series, right? That I have to do. But it's like trusting is everything. Anyways, okay. Let's continue with this. This is like a huge reading. What am I thinking about these words here? Oh my God. We have Saturn showing up. This is so insane. Saturn is the planet, is the matrix. It's Earth, but as the matrix. It's the planet of lessons, the planet of limitation, the planet of boundaries. It's also the father planet. It could also be a career planet. That could come into play there. But it's like rigid structure. So Saturn showing up, again, there's that feeling of like getting stuck in the system. Getting stuck in that limited, those limitations that we've created for ourselves. And seeing no way out of it because you don't have an immediate remedy for it or an immediate gratification for it. There's nothing like that's like solving the problem right now. Oh, that's a big thing, right? I'm stuck. So you go see a life coach. Let's look at all the solutions that you can do, and it's like, let's not, and let's just trust that the stuck energy is requiring me to be quiet. And no, I'm not dissing no life coaches. I'm sorry if I am, but it's like more about this. This is it's a deep energy for me because I've experienced this, and it's like, and I experience it daily because a few days ago I felt stuck again. It's not stuck. It's like I'm bored, which is kind of the same idea. It's like, oh, okay, No, I wasn't bored. I was stuck. I felt stuck a little bit. But I let it pass. And then I didn't think about it. And I unstuck, right? Because I wasn't focused on it so much. I just allowed it, and I talked to my body, and I said, okay, I'm feeling stuck, so help me here. Like, this is me working with me, right? Not working with an external system, like not blaming an external system either for where I am right now in my life. Because everything, like I always say to everybody, it's like every failure, every mistake, every job loss, every closing, down, every bankruptcy, every of this is because you are on the wrong path. And every stuck moment is because you're on the wrong path. Right? I was on the wrong path. I kept doing things that I wasn't happy with. And now I'm random and spontaneous, and I'm more happy. And I'm able to shoot out like longer videos and more relaxed settings and no schedules. And it works for me. It might not work for all of you, but this is you choosing you. And recognizing your stuck patterns. And when you're stuck always financially, and you trust the universe, and you trust that things are going to start opening up, I'm telling you right now, all you need to do is like, I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive abundance, or I'm open to receive the money, let that flow in, kind of thing. Once, and that's it. Sometimes I get stuck, and I say, I'm open to receive babas, and they're like, yeah. You know, and they laugh. It's like a joke, but it's like, it is what it is, right? It's the human mind again that's always like, oh, worried about the next, you know, rent or the next step or what am I going to do? And it's to settle that kind of. So that I didn't even talk about this card. Okay, this is a Chariot card, which is another Cancer card. Cancer energy. Yeah, all emotional energy. But this is like home and family and triumph and success and travel and openings and release. And look, he's like, it's movement. It's momentum. Right? So here you're like in your stuck zone, like following the rules, following the limited structures that have been programmed inside you, and it's releasing that is gets you stuck a lot, by the way, because when you start seeing, you know, like it's very interesting right now what's happening in the world. I don't know if you know, a lot of you know this, but in 2020, I was like a conspiracy theorist, right? I was into all of the theory. Like I was like a little whack, and I was telling people all the things. And I just recently scrolled through something, and it was there again, and how like the mainstream is like catching up to it, right? And but I'm not involved anymore in that, so it's just interesting how the mind will always get stuck on theories, and the mind will always get stuck on ideologies and narratives and scripts, and because whatever it is, whether it's a spiritual theory, a conspiracy theory, whether it's an economic theory, whether it's a scientific theory, whatever it is, information, let's take it. And this is how you humans get stuck with all this information that's not necessary. So you're in this process of release. Whoever is here has been feeling like this, and has been like, you've been fighting with yourself, maybe even, and in full realization that you're in these kinds of relationships, or that you keep repeating the same pattern over and over again when it comes to money, when it comes to your emotional side of you, or the emotions coming up within you, or the relationships that you're in, kind of thing. And there's this feeling, like it's almost a really nice feeling here, like a nice feeling, a very like releasing feeling. The fact that Saturn showed up to me is everything. You know, it's all about time, schedules, but there's no time. Like the linear timeline is collapsing. And as it collapses, you find yourself feeling freer, clearer, right? And you're doing the work too, by the way. It's not just like, it's going to happen. Like, oh, maybe one day it will happen. Who knows? But I'm like, I really do. Oh, look at these cards. Like one day I truly believe that we are going to all go to bed at night, and everyone's going to wake up in a whole new world. And it's like in a blink of an eye, our whole life will change. And most humans will be unaware of the change, and they'll just like fall back into the script, but it'll be like a different world. That's just something, maybe it's my fantasy world that I live in, but that's what I see happening. And there's no stuckness. Right? And the thing is, the only way we get to that is if we all unstuck ourselves. You know, if we all trust ourselves, if we all choose choose freedom over fear. Look at the cards that showed up. Trust and freedom. I really don't look at the cards. I look at them when I get them, but they've been sitting here for a week now. totally forgot. I love that there is a freaking butterfly in his hand, cocoon here. So let's read the trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. All right. I mean, I have a better trust. Like, I like the fact that there's a butterfly in his hand because it's resting in his hand, right? It's not stuck in his hand. It's like you have, it's fight or flight. You can choose. You can fly away or you can remain. But that's freedom too, to remain. To choose to remain somewhere is also freedom, right? By the way. Some people, but not if you're feeling stuck. Sometimes like right? If I'm choosing to remain out of fear, obviously there's no freedom there. So obviously there's no freedom there, which is, I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. Look at it, it's like a tightly woven string around her. And the hummingbird. Freedom. That's like that's Saturn right here. It's like we're stuck. This is the program. This is the script. Follow the script, people. You get stuck, pop a pill, drink alcohol, smoke a cigarette, smoke a weed, That's what the Matrix will tell you. That's what Saturn will tell you. That's what the path that will open up for you if you're stuck. Go like gamble it away kind of thing. But that's like, we know better, right, than that. But we still do it 100,000%. But as you get a bit lighter and as you get more aligned with yourself, your awareness gets clear, and you're like, okay, I'm stuck again. And like what I said is like, allow it, like trust it, like trust the discomfort. And you're never alone. You're not alone, even if you think you're alone in this earth. Even if you're living alone and you don't have family and you don't have friends and you're watching this, you're not alone. You have like a cheerleading squad all around you. So talk to them like I do. Because sometimes it does get lonely. But I love my loneliness. So I feel at peace with it. And when I move through energies like this, I prefer to do it alone. But sometimes it helps to call a friend, or call me, or book a session with me, or someone that is a little bit outside of your personal, who can be more objective with you. But the Chariot card feels freeing to me. Like, look at him. He's like flying in the wind with the year of the horse, as we enter into the year of the horse, which is freedom. But it's also, the horse is powerful energy. It's going to push a lot of us into, it's going to push us to level up. It's like a really wild energy, the horse. It's like movement horse, obviously the horse, but the year of the horse, I talked to someone who's studying Chinese astrology, and she's like, the horse is like insane. I'm like, really? I thought it was like a prancing horse, but she's like, I didn't think it was a prancing horse, but I was like, she's like, this is it. This is like, a lot of people who are feeling stuck are going to be rocket launched out of their stuckness. So I'm here to help you to move through this gently, because there's no, I don't personally believe in doing things quickly on this journey. I wanted to when I first started, but I don't think that's for me, that doesn't work, because I'm not solving anything here. I'm clearing years and years and years of stuck energies, years and years of trauma, years and years of mirrors that I don't want to face, So be gentle with yourself, you know, show yourself the compassion that you deserve, and love yourself, and do, you know, reach out to friends that can help you through this, but you know, people that you can be vulnerable with, which is my next reading. But that's a big one. It really is. And like trusting that stuckness is there to help you quiet down, right? To help you clear, but also not to stay in it. That's the key here. I'm not condoning staying in stuckness. Yes, it helps to it helps you anchor yourself 100,000%. But at the same time, if you're in an unhealthy relationship and if you're stuck in like this poverty mindset, I'm just like, oh, you know, no. This is a moment for you to step into, to acknowledge and step into recognition and awareness of it, of whatever this is for you, and realize it's part of my journey, and I'm ready to clear. So I'm ready to clear. And the universe and God and the higher self and, you know, your future self and whatever, your body knows when it's time to clear, and when you're not ready for it. And trust that. That's why I always say to people, don't put timelines to anything. You said it was going to happen next week. And I hate answering questions like that. I do give approximate dates sometimes, but because it doesn't work like that. You know, it works. It can work like that, but also you make choices that can affect that, right? And then you go blame the tarot reader or the psychologist or whoever, the numerologist. Try not to attach to a timeline, and just allow the energy to flow. So trust the pause, trust whatever the messages you're getting. But to me, it feels like you're in this process right now of stuckness in it, but become aware of it, and don't just stay there because you feel like you don't have enough money, so I'm going to stay in this relationship. I don't feel loved. He's the only one who loves me, but I don't love him, so I'm going to stay. You know, it's like, no, like, right? Everything has to be reciprocal, receive and give. Always the same. 6 of Pentacles. The law of reciprocity. Equal. Not like this, not like that. That's the law of the universe. Everything is balanced. And we forget that. So, pay attention to the stuckness in your life. And I'm going to leave you here. And I will see you. Check out the other zodiac sign readings and also vulnerable coming up next. And that's it. I love you, and trust yourself. That's Sabrina talking too much. Okay. Trust yourself, my beautifuls. And I will see you when I see you. Bye. Also like, comment, subscribe. Thanks me if you can. And also support me on Ko-fi if you're not a member yet, or buy my zodiac journals on Amazon. Anyways, I leave you now. I love you. Bye.